can't starve. Grind to the end, and me not laugh.
Hi guys, my name is Dr. Rocker and today's video goes out to the box office artist, James Race. He drew a piece where Kratos is fighting against Hulk. Turned out pretty cool, by the way. And then he asked us, we should draw it ourselves. So let's do that. But it's not just me, no, also my kids will participate. And look, Lotte is almost finished with her version. Looks pretty cool if you ask me, she's 3 years old. And also Konrad is working on his piece, which will look great. Look at that Hulk. But now it's time to draw my version. But I will keep you updated about the drawings from the kids. I was fiddling around with some poses before, and I guess I will do this one for the Hulk, and I like this one the most for Kratos. So let's get a piece of paper! Today I'm using a Bristol Strathmore 300 series paper, 11 by 17 inch. Usually I'm using the 200 series, which I prefer actually, but today it's going to be this one. So let's pencil! Because my kids are far ahead of me. My daughter's already finished. I love this piece. And my son is already at the inking process. So let's sketch! Okay, I laid out the basic sketch. Hulk versus Kratos. First I had the axe in here, in this hand, but then I found out that the position of the hand was wrong. I liked the look, so I left it for a while, but then I was like, no! Not really, not working. So I also got rid of the axe, because it wouldn't have enough space on the piece of paper, and I think that's better. I also had quite some trouble with the Hulk. I redrew this hand quite a few times, but I guess I will have to do it again because it's too long. It really is too long. I have to think about something. The thing is, I used the eraser here quite a lot because I had to redo it a few times, like I mentioned before. So I have to be extra careful not to ruin the paper too much. I guess this hand especially looks too long because I did a very foreshortened fist. I did the fist from this angle, if you know what I mean. So maybe I can get away with just changing the fist. Let's try it out. When you're in a situation like this and you want to be extra careful with the paper, make sure to flatten the pencil a bit. And then do not use this side, not this knife-like tip, but use this side where it's flattened, because then you won't damage the paper so much. So let's see what we can do. Before the arm was like this, stretched to the back, but now I want to try out the illusion that the arm needs to be like that, seen from the front. So the thumb, and there are our fingers from the clenched fist. Very straight arm. I guess it's better, but I'm not totally convinced. Let me try something else. I found some transparent paper and now I will try to do a completely other arm. Let's see. I think this will work better. Ah, it's too bad. I actually like the arm stretched out to the back, but I guess that's the better solution. So time to use this dude again. When you find yourself in a situation like that, where you have to erase something you actually like, think of it as practice to keep you sane, because it's really hard to erase something you actually like. But we've all been there, that's just the way it goes. Now I have to change the bicep a bit more, so it fits to the forearm. And I guess that should do the trick. Okay, I think this should work. As you might have noticed, I'm trying to put in some strong blacks. before I start the inking process. And here I have a very good tip on how to draw folds on a piece of clothes like this from Hulk right here. These are pretty clear, folds going this direction. But in the crotch area, just make some lines like that. So you get an idea of where the folds should also lay, and then you go ahead and follow those lines with the shadings. I guess I actually overdid it right here, because this area is bent to the light, which means it should be not so much darkness going on here. But I guess you know what I mean. And you know how this works now, hopefully. So let's fix this. Okay, after playing Polly Pocket with my daughter, I was able to finish the pencil sketch. I already filled in a lot of strong blacks. The light source is coming from this direction, and you might have already seen this one if you follow me on Instagram. And if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, do it! And also, if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my amazing videos. And now I will take a really fine fineliner and trace all the most important lines. So let's go! And here we go, those are the lines we need. So I will use this guy now, my most beloved brush pen. I really love the flow you can achieve with these soft brush strokes. And it's very relaxing for the hand, especially compared with all the other stuff. The penciling, for example. Or also my 0.1 fineliner I just used. He's almost done, so I had to press quite hard all the time. So I'm really looking forward to do some nice, neat brush strokes. So let's gently do some strong blacks. Ow! Ow! That's all I wanted to do for strong blacks on this one. I think watching getting these strong blacks done is really satisfying.
That was the single most thrilling experience of my whole life.
But in terms of the paper, I really have to say I prefer the 200 series of the bristle paper from Strathmore. Especially because the ink needs a little bit longer to dry on the 300 series. And I'm smudging all the time anyway, so not so good for me. And actually, the 200 series would be the cheaper version of the Strathmore paper, but for some reason you can't really get it here in Europe, so I had to ship it from the States, which makes it expensive for me again. But still, I will order it again because I really prefer it. But I will also use up all my 300 series paper because it's also great, don't get me wrong there. And should you have experience with those papers, please let me know down in the comments. I really would be interested what you have to say about them. But enough paper talk, let's do some hatching! I guess I will try out all of these to render this drawing and then end up using one or two of them. With those pens, it's not just the size, it also depends on how old they are. Sometimes a 0.1 can produce a finer line than a 0.05, so use what you got and use it wisely. And that's what we're gonna do now, so let's go! What do you think? This looks pretty cool already, but there should be some background. And for that I have a special idea. I think those two look a little bit too loose, which I want to change with the background. But at the same time I want those two characters to stand out properly. And because of that I will do the background just in pencils. That will look awesome! First I googled for some God of War scenery background, but that would be too boring. The things I could find has all just been landscapes. They look cool in the computer game, but I wanted to do something special. So I googled God of War monsters. And then I found this guy. I don't know who he is actually, but he's certainly of the game, and I will do his face quite big in the background just in pencil. I hope it works out. In my head it's brilliant already. So let's do that!
Grime in your face, grime for your dance, grime from the streets, grime for your yard, grime in the veins, that means man can't starve, grime to the end, and me not laugh. So the media were talking, won't be long till they call off, me there from morning, you never see me walk off, everybody there from the war start warm up without them there, and anybody figure bark up, come in and take talk, make Babylon park up, they weren't here for the struggle or start off, listen.
And we are finally done, my friends! It would have been enough just draw both those characters, but I really wanted to do a full drawing with full background.
I had to do it.
And now you can see what I was talking about. This is a really cool contrast. The monster just in pencils adds a really cool 3D look. This would also look really great when colored. So if you're a colorist, feel free to DM me on Instagram, I will send you a proper pic. And by the way, when you remember the struggle I had with the arm, now I'm pretty glad I changed that, because now it looks cool. I wouldn't have been happy if I wouldn't have changed it. So if you're in a position like that, just do the works, guys. It's totally worth it. Don't be lazy. So all in all, I have to say I'm happy with the drawing. I think it turned out pretty good, but nothing compared to the ones from my children. Konrad, he's 6 years old, he did a pretty cool Hulk vs Kratos, and the best, I have to admit, goes out to my daughter. I really love this piece. She's 3 years old and I swear she drew that by herself. I didn't do a single line on this drawing. I hope my drawing makes it into the Box Office Artists video. That would be great. If it did so, I will leave the link in the description of this video, because I will not have time to edit this video right away. So when you see this video, it will be quite some time ago from today. But anyway, if you like the Box Office Artist, check out this video. I drew a bunch of villains in the Box Office Artist style. It's a really cool drawing. So see you there, my friends. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Bye.